Welcome to the program. If I asked you which animal kills the most Australians each year, what would you say? Maybe snakes, crocodiles, sharks? The answer's actually horses. Tonight we bring you the story of one young woman who was killed 2 years ago after she came out of the saddle during a TAFE riding course. The horse industry is unregulated except for racing, and the teenager's death raises questions about whether that should change. Sarah Dingle reports.
Yesterday you were introduced to a horse called Bundy, who I don't know. This is Dargo. This is my baby boy.
For 18-year-old Sarah Waugh, this was the life she'd dreamt of. She was training as a Jillaroo in Western New South Wales, a stepping stone to studying rural veterinary science at university.
So his name is Dargo. He's a 4-year-old thoroughbred and he's a real smooch.
But shortly after this video was taken, the unthinkable occurred.
The uniformed and plainclothes policeman came into the classroom and told me the news that changed my life forever. That Sarah had died in a horse riding accident. It's with her beautiful cousin, Sienna. Yeah. Do we include those?
Yeah.
2 years on, her parents, Mark and Juliana Waugh, still live with their grief and their memories.
Sarah was an effervescent individual. She embraced people. She loved music and she loved animals. She found life and everything in it fascinating, so she learnt things because she was really interested in them.
She really wanted to have a life on the land.
I'm changing the length of my stirrup leather up on the horse, which you can do if you have a quiet horse that will just stand for you.
Sarah Waugh had no inkling this horse was anything but a quiet ride.
Stand by. Racing now. Darcy's Delight landed a length in...
Just days before the Jillaroo course began, the horse was here, on the track at the annual Binaway races. The horse, used by TAFE's beginner riders, was in fact a racehorse, registered as Snaky Thought.
I have to say that it consumes me because I've lost my daughter, and upon investigation I realised that things had occurred that had led to Sarah's death that shouldn't have happened.
Juliana Waugh had moved to Dubbo from the family home in Newcastle to support her daughter through the 8-week course. She says her daughter was a city girl whose past riding experience included casual riding and childhood horse camps.
I'd packed a lunch for her, one of the things that mums do, and I said, have a lovely day and don't forget your sunscreen. And she walked off into the blue sky of Dubbo as happy as happy.
Hello, Dago. Hello.
This video was shot just minutes before the tragic accident. Sarah Waugh is riding Dargo, laughing at the antics of another horse.
Just chill out, Reggie. We're on the way home, love. We're on the way home. It's okay.
A work cover report details what happened next. The accident took place here at TAFE's Dubbo campus. Sarah Waugh was trotting just ahead of the group. She was asked twice to bring her horse back into line, but said, I can't. The instructor told her to take the reins and pull him up, but she was unable. The horse then began to gather speed.
We're here in relation to the coronial investigation into the death of Sarah Waugh.
This police video recreates the accident. As Dargo raced down this laneway towards the yards, Sarah Waugh fell 1.5 metres, suffering severe internal and head injuries.
And she was lying from the fence there.
It was about an hour after we all stood there watching, and one of the teachers come up. He said, well, we're really sorry, but she's just not coming back. Half of us broke down in tears.
The Jillaroo instructor, Sarah Faulkner, told police she only let the competent students ride outside the arena.
There's no good logical reason why she didn't just do what I was telling her to and pull the horse up. He would have stopped. But she didn't. She didn't pull on the reins.
According to Sarah Faulkner, the rules were do as she said or dismount.
What about students taking photos on horseback? Are they allowed to do that?
They're not allowed to do that, but I believe there was some of that happening, yes.
In fact, it was happening just minutes before Dargo bolted.
That's not a photo, it's a video of us riding out.
It was an accident waiting to happen in that there's no risk analysis done, obviously no risk analysis done on how the scheme would work.
Veteran riding coach Bob Cameron has spent about 80 years on or around horses, including thoroughbreds.
So when anything happens out of the ordinary, they go back to their instincts. They either bolt, bite, buckle, kick or rear, as quick as that. I couldn't believe they had a contractors take strange horses to a strange area for beginner riders.
A work cover report says TAFE New South Wales leased the horses, bringing them in 2 days a week. The owner didn't stay with them and the instructor didn't have a long-term knowledge of them. As a former chairman of the National Coaching Accreditation Scheme, Bob Cameron says ex-racehorses are particularly dangerous.
That horse can get out of the barrier quicker, wins the race. If you get out last, well, you don't catch them up. And of course, they have jiggers and things, electric things they put on the wither and make them jump and all these things. And so he would have been teed up if he'd been racing. I've no doubt about that.
You wouldn't think on a TAFE course like that something could happen.
TAFE student Tony Jenkins had become firm friends with Sarah Waugh. She says Sarah was convinced she had a strong connection with Dargo, even though early in the course he'd already thrown another female student.
She come off him once. He sort of played up a little bit, and other than that there was nothing wrong with him. Every now and again he'd sort of play up and Sarah would stand there and talk to him and never have a problem with him after that.
TAFE New South Wales told 7:30 it had complied fully with work cover and the police and declined to comment ahead of a pending coronial inquiry.
Outside the racing industry, there are no regulations on the horse industry.
Come on.
Professor Paul McGreevy is a horse management expert and an advisor to the RSPCA.
There's no register of horses in Australia, there's no register of their history, so it's very difficult to keep track of horses, either good or bad.
It's not clear what happened to Dargo after the accident. Its owner claims it was sold to the Sydney Equestrian Centre or swapped with another horse there. The Equestrian Centre denies receiving it. Its current whereabouts are unknown, but its new owner may have no idea of Dargo's past.
Horses definitely disappear. I'm aware of other incidents where horses have put people into vegetative states and have then disappeared.
You know, your parents' 50th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
Which is so gorgeous.
Our prime concern is about safety.
Yeah.
Sarah Waugh's parents are hoping an inquest later this year will recommend major changes to the riding education industry.
No one can ever make horse riding completely safe. We understand that. But there are lots of things you can do to lessen the risks. So many precious memories. Children are going and doing this course. There's 12 students every term. So approximately 48 students are being put in a dangerous situation.
What really bothers us is the thought of waking up the next morning to find that another incident has happened.